No, I'll keep going. So like I was saying, it's 5 distinct factors. The first is semen volume. We have sperm concentration, sperm count. We also have sperm motility, which is the amount of sperm which are capable of swimming. It's actually really low in humans compared to other animals. And the percentage of morphologically normal forms. So this is basically an estimate of the percentage of sperm in each ejaculate that could fertilize an egg. So what were their methods? Well, in Denmark, every male is required to undergo a physical at age 18 or 19 or 20 because there's a national draft in case of a war. They recruited 1,215 men right before their physicals and asked if they'd like to take part in the study. They asked them questions about their marijuana use over the last 3 months, and specifically whether they were regular users, so that is more than once a week in the last 3 months, irregular users, which is once or less per week in the last 3 months, or if they were non-users. They also asked about recreational drugs like cocaine, amphetamines, and ecstasy, and other lifestyle factors. Each male was asked to produce a blood and semen sample, and for all of this they were awarded 500 krona, which is about 85 US. So what were their results? Well, the first question they asked was the frequency of marijuana usage over the last 3 months. Only 55% reported no use in the last 3 months. 34% of the total subjects, so around 400 people, reported that they used marijuana at least once and up to 1 time a week. And 11% reported that they had used marijuana more than once a week for every week in the last 3 months, which is a lot. Especially considering that the average user, or the average use of marijuana in Denmark is only 17%. So that's almost 3 times as large. So, back to what is sperm quality. How did these different groups' usages affect sperm quality? We can go through each different factor. Semen volume, sperm motility, and morphologically normal forms were all unchanged. Where we saw really interesting effects was in sperm concentration and sperm count, which dropped by 28 and 29%. Significant results are shown with the asterisks, and yeah, this is an enormous drop for regular users. So they also asked how many people use recreational drugs. We found that 88% of individuals were either infrequent or non-users of marijuana and didn't use any recreational drugs. 6% were regular users of marijuana but didn't use recreational drugs. And 5% of the study reported that they used recreational drugs in the last 3 months. Most of this group was regular marijuana users. So how did recreational drug use affect sperm quality? Well, we can go through each of the factors again. Semen volume was unchanged. We saw a significant decrease of 6% in sperm motility. We did not see any changes in morphologically normal forms. And where it gets really interesting is how significant an effect recreational drug use had on sperm concentration and sperm count. There were 52 and 55% drops, which means that if you use recreational drugs and are a young male, then you have less than half the amount of sperm as a non-user. That's pretty shocking. So, going forward, what can we do? Well, I'd like to look more into the longitudinal effects of marijuana. This was a cross-sectional study, so just a snapshot in time of different groups. What we need to know is whether marijuana's effects on sperm quality are temporary or permanent. That is, if you stop using, is it going to go away, or is that forever? I'd also like to know more about recreational drug usage and its effects. The difficulty with this is, of course, that most drugs, in the US at least, are Schedule I, which means they're not okay for even experimental purposes. So, in conclusion, most people our age are worried about getting knocked up and ending up in an obstetrician's office. But if you do a little bit too much of this, you might not be in an obstetrician's office, but rather a male infertility clinic. So next time you think about using marijuana, if you're a young male and want to have a child in the future, just have second thoughts about its effects on sperm production.